Hello and welcome to Devil's Advocate. Why do we need a unique identification number, and does the proposal itself make good sense? That's the key issue I shall explore today with the chairman of the Unique Identification Authority, Nandan Nilekani. Mr. Nilekani, let me start with a simple question. It's said that 80% of India have election commission identity cards, others have ration cards, some people have BPL cards, others have driving license and passports, there are even PAN cards. Why on top of this do we need a unique identification number?
Well, we need it because we need one single non-duplicate way of identifying a person, and we need some kind of a mechanism by which we can authenticate that online anywhere, because that can have huge benefits and impact on public services and making the poor more inclusive in what is happening in India today.
When you say you need one online way of identifying a person, am I right in assuming that what makes the unique identification different to anything else is that in addition to name, age, sex, date of birth and address, you actually have the individual's biometrics which are unique to that individual?
Oh, absolutely. It's a combination of most probably fingerprints and a picture, and we'll be having a biometrics committee to finalize that. But finally, that makes it unique, and will also make sure there are no duplicates. That's the other important decision.
All right, let's come to the problems that are inherent in this task. The first is the issue of technology. Quite simply, does the technology exist? I ask because the London School of Economics did an analysis and survey of a similar project that was being considered by the British government, and this is the conclusion they've come to. The technology envisioned for this scheme is to a large extent untested and unreliable. No scheme on this scale has been undertaken anywhere in the world. Smaller and less ambitious systems have encountered substantial technological and operational problems that are likely to be amplified in a large-scale national system. Now, if that's true of Britain, it has to be true of India in spades.
No, there's no question that this is a project where we are going into uncharted territories. The technological challenges are immense. These roads have not been crossed, and certainly one of the risks of this project is the technology.
But the technology is so essential to the project that I put it to you, this is not just uncharted territory. This could end up being a case of India's ambition outstripping its ability. After all, even today, we can't issue identity cards with a guarantee that the name is correct or that the address hasn't been misspelled. We could end up making a complete hash of biometric details.
Well, I think there are certain risks in this project, but I think given the enormous opportunity and enormous sort of developmental benefits that it can give, it's worth taking on the project and trying to mitigate the risks so that we get the outcomes that we want.
But you do accept that the technology is not just uncharted, it's at this moment virtually not fully known.
Yeah, there's no other country in the world where 1 billion people's biometrics have been captured and stored in an online database. So in that sense, it's not been done before.
We have to actually invent the technology for this size and scale of operation.
No, we don't have to invent the technology. We have to scale up the existing technology to work at this scale.
But it's such a fantastic scaling up that it's almost close to a reinvention.
It's not a reinvention, but a scaling up.
The second problem inherent is the problem of cost. Once again, the London School of Economics did an analysis of a similar project that the British government was thinking of, and that, remember, is a country which is 1/20th the size of India. And the LSE concluded that the probable cost for Britain would be between 10 and 20 billion pounds. Frontline magazine believes that the government in India has a guesstimate of somewhere around 1.5 lakh crore. Is it worth it at that cost?
No, I don't agree with that estimate. I think I don't know what the exact figure is, but it's much less than that by a factor of 10. And I believe that the social...
But forgive me, can I interrupt? If you don't know the exact figure, how can you say it's lesser by a factor of 10?
I mean, the ballpark is certainly going to be much less than the figure that you enumerated.
But that's a guess you're giving me, isn't it?
It's a guess, but it's an informed and educated guess.
Well, and that's a qualification that you're smiling at yourself.
No, I mean, I can't put an exact finger on exactly how much this is cost.
So the truth is actually we don't know what the cost will be.
We don't know what the cost will be, but I'm very confident that whatever the cost is, the social, economic and efficiency benefits of it will make it well worth it.
Let me question that. India is a poor country. I put it to you that this order of money could be better spent if you expand education, health and sanitation, or if you use it to feed the 40% of Indian children who are chronically malnourished.
No, certainly, we don't want to take money away from very important social programs. But remember that as we expand our social programs, the efficiency of the social program, that they reach the right people, and that there are no duplicates who are taking away the benefits which are meant for the poor. We need to make them more efficient. So you need infrastructure at the bottom to make that happen. And that's what this does.
There's no doubt that a unique identification number could play some role, although perhaps it's questionable, and I'll come to that later, in targeting benefits better at people who deserve it.
Yes.
But when in India the crying need is education and primary education, health, and particularly health for women and children, sanitation, 700 million Indians, it said, do not have proper sanitation facilities. When you have 40% of your children without proper nourishment, surely this money should be better used.
No, this investment of money in this project will actually make all those other monies be spent more efficiently. Think of it as an infrastructure for enabling you to spend money more effectively.
Well, let's then come to that.
I can give you an example if you have the time.
Let me take that up, because the great justification you're giving me is that a unique identification will help target those who receive poverty benefits and those who receive subsidies much better.
And make sure that those who should not be deserving it don't get it.
But the assumption there is that technology can actually tackle the ills of social inefficiency and social problems. That's a huge assumption.
No, certainly it's a huge assumption, and
maybe an unjustified one.
Well, that's we can make that judgment. We'll do this again in 5 years' time and make the judgment. But look at it very simply. Let's take. You talked about maternal care, right? We have 10 million women today who get health benefits under the JSY program. Now, if you're able to make sure that the right women get it and they get it 3 times before their pregnancy, their health will improve, the quality of the delivery will improve. These are all real social problems that this information can help you to solve.
Let me tell you why that's an inadequate example, right? You can only target better those women who are actually availing of the benefits but not receiving them fully. Take the example of BPL, it's a much better quoted example.
Okay.
The real problem in India is not that people who should receive BPL assistance do not get it properly and that there's leakage. The real problem is that there's a vast number of people who qualify and are not included in the BPL threshold at all.
So both problems are there.
How will you be addressing the second problem?
Because what happens today is that in a particular state, there may be more BPL cards than the population of the state, because there are multiple cards issued to an individual. With the UID, you'll be able to actually trim that down to 1 card per individual, and therefore you'll actually know who's not getting the stuff.
But what you can't do is to identify the people who should have BPL cards and do not have them because they're outside of the system, they've been ignored. Technology
This is not a panacea for all problems.
Which is why I say
this is an enabler which will allow more effective public delivery.
Which is why I say to you that the order of sum of money involved could be better spent in targeting education, sanitation and health, not to mention child malnutrition, because you'd actually then perhaps get real benefits rather than what I'm describing as notional benefits.
No, see, suppose in a country we're spending 100, 200,000 crores a year on different kinds of subsidies and social benefits, then investment that is a part of that one time to make those perpetual investments more efficient is definitely well worth it.
Is it a one-time investment? Because in fact, Frontline magazine, when it says that the government's estimate is 1.5 lakh crore, says...
I don't know where this estimate is from, by the way.
Frontline unfortunately doesn't specify because the government itself has not gone public with the details. The problem is probably at the government end rather than Frontline's, but the truth is that figure doesn't include recurring costs. So recurring costs could add to that, and we don't know by how much.
No, I think even the recurring cost of this on the scale of money that we spend on public programs and the ability of this to deliver better quality public programs will be well worth it.
Well, that's the debate. We're leaping in the dark in the belief that technology will help us deliver programs better, but as you say, the technology is not known. It has to be upgraded in such an enormous scale that I call it a reinvention, although you dispute that. The cost itself is unknown, you agreed to that, and therefore I put it to you again. There are so many imponderables about technology, size and cost that is it wise for a poor third world country which has huge levels of poverty. You know and I know that the Arjun Sen Gupta committee report has said that 80% of India live under 20 rupees a day. Should we therefore be spending this sort of money on this project?
Well, the government has come to the conclusion that this project is strategic and worth it. I have been invited to lead this project. I believe that it's viable and I'll do my best to make it viable.
All right. Let's take a break at that point and let's come back and turn to a third problem inherent in this concept, the possibility or the potentiality of misuse. How can you guard against that? And if you can't, are we then opening up a Pandora's box? We'll be back in a moment's time. See you after the break. Welcome back to Devil's Advocate and an interview with the chairman of the Unique Identification Authority of India, Nandan Nilekani. Mr. Nilekani, let's come to a third potential problem with the project that you've undertaken, and I put it to you that this could be the biggest of them all. How can you ensure that the database that you're creating will be secure, that it won't be misused, and it won't, worst of all, result in an invasion of privacy?
No, I think that's a very legitimate concern. We are in the design of this, we are looking at how to make the database secure. We are actually saying that nobody can read this database. All they can do is verify the authenticity of identity. You can ask a question, is X, and the only answer will give is yes or no. So there's no data coming down from the pipe. But there's no question that once the UID is implemented and the UID becomes ubiquitous in many applications, then there are challenges of privacy. And I think along with this project, we have to put in other checks and balances, including laws.
But can you ever put in sufficient checks and balances? You said that people can only verify against this database. They won't actually be able to read it. But
That's
Professor
right.
Ian Angel of the LSE, a world-renowned authority on precisely the creation of such databases, says, and he said it with relevance to England, it will apply even more to India, that what you're going to end up with is the Olympic Games of hacking. You're going to provide people the biggest challenge to hack through. And you know and I know that no one believes in the perfectibility of computers. So hackers will hack and succeed.
Now, this again I think is a very legitimate concern. We are very cognizant that many people will try to hack into this, and we have to design it as good as possible. I think
but
the question,
can you design it to prevent hacking?
Yeah,
the answer is no. Surely.
Well, we can certainly create checks and balances. I think the question is this. The question is this.
Can they ever be sufficient?
No, we have to be on guard, and we have to have any number of things happening, and we have to make sure it works.
So
the point
risk,
is this.
I'm interrupting again. So the risk of hacking can never be removed 100%.
There's every system, there will be people who will try to hack on it. Some are impenetrable, some are. The important thing is the risk of hacking and privacy large enough not to do this project? And the view is that this has so much significant benefits for the poor, in making it inclusive, in giving them a chance to participate in the country's progress, that it is worth it, and we have to mitigate those risks.
Let me put it like this. In India, you are creating a system which in the wrong hands would be a powerful tool for either religious or caste profiling. How can you ensure that unscrupulous politicians today, tomorrow, day after won't misuse it for their benefit and against your intentions and the best interests of the Indian people?
We are not keeping any profiling attributes in our database.
You mean you won't have any details of people's caste?
No.
In which case, how can you say to me that you will better target benefits at BPL and other categories? Because if you don't know someone's SC or ST, if you don't know that they're OBC, how can you ensure better targeting?
That is the responsibility of the application that provides those services.
So then they'll add in that feature into your
But that will be
details.
outside our system. Our system has only basic attributes like the name, the address, date of birth, and those kind of
So
things.
when you say it will be outside your system, you're providing the fundamentals for someone else to misuse. The misuse may not happen at your end, it will happen later on.
I think that there are databases today which are accessible, and therefore along with this we have to create the necessary laws, the checks and balances, the citizen oversight, and so on, to guard against these things.
But you see, the first thing I think that you've conceded or accepted is that even if there is no misuse at your end, there is a huge potential of misuse at the end of other people who have access and use it and add to it. That what you're doing therefore is to create a weapon. You may not misuse it, others could.
No, but today itself you have electronic databases in the country which can potentially be done the way you are. So I'm not, we're not doing something which is more different from what already exists.
You said a moment ago that you'll create checks and balances. I put it to you that you can never create sufficient, and the reason I say that is this. In the UK, in the USA, and in Australia, because the authorities couldn't respond to public concerns about misuse, they've effectively put on the back burner consideration of similar schemes for those countries. Now, if developed countries cannot tackle the problem of misuse, then how can India, a third world country where 35% of the people are illiterate and 22% live below the poverty line, how can India claim that we can tackle these problems?
Well, actually, what they have, as I understand it, and you have done better research on this topic, what they have put on hold is giving national ID cards to people. But both these countries, both the US and Britain, have a number. For example, in the US, you have the social security number. In the UK, I think you have something called the national insurance number. So they already have a numbering system, which is what we are going to propose.
Except for the fact that it's nowhere near as extensive or as complete in terms of biometric details as what you're proposing in India. The national insurance in Britain has been around and developing slowly, but it doesn't have any details that could lead to an invasion of privacy. It doesn't have any details that could be misused for profiling. Yours could have both.
No, as I said, I think these are legitimate concerns, and I think we have to address them in the public as well as in the laws and so on. But notwithstanding these concerns, the social benefit, the inclusivity that this will provide for the several hundred million people in this country who are outside the system is immense enough to justify doing this project.
Can I challenge that justification? You're making
Sure.
it as an assertion,
You're
you're making
welcome.
it perhaps as a system of belief, but what's the proof that the benefit will actually justify the risk? Because once the risk happens, once this system is misused for profiling in the wrong sense or for invading people's privacies, who's going to turn around and say it was worth this because the benefit is so much greater? And anyway, the benefit is questionable, as we said in part 1, because of cost and because of technology.
No, I think the benefit is a profound benefit, because the poor who don't have identity today in this country will be able to get an identity. It will empower them, it will help them to meet their aspirations, it will help them to, and there is a huge young population with high aspirations. They are the people for whom this is being done, and I do believe they will benefit greatly from this number.
You know, you say they'll benefit greatly from this number, and it depends upon the poor coming forward and being accepted legitimately and being able to therefore be caught by your system. And yet, you aren't a demographer, you're a technocrat. How are you going to handle the inevitable problems of internal migration or illegal immigration, which are going to bedevil your scheme? How are you going to ensure that the wrong people aren't captured and given an identity and made Indian?
Well, we are not, having this number does not confer any rights, any benefits or any entitlements. All it does is able to confirm that X is X, and we will offer.
But you've got 100 ways of doing it, so why are we spending close to 1.5 lakh crore or whatever the figure just to be able to claim X is X?
I don't know, as I said, where that figure is from is, I have no idea.
But whatever the figure, why are we spending so much money when we've already got a million ways of identifying people?
Because you need, today we do have many systems, but having a system which uses a unique identifier like biometrics, having a system which ensures there are no duplicates, and having a system that provides online authentication is, at least we believe, and you can question that belief, something that can have a lot of social benefits for the poor.
I won't question the belief, although I'd call it a catechism of faith. One either accepts it on faith or one doesn't.
Certainly.
But let me
But I'm not some high priest of technology here.
But let me end by quoting to you the conclusion the London School of Economics came when they reviewed a potential British concept along the lines of what you're doing in India. This is what they said: the success of a national identity system depends on a sensitive, cautious and cooperative approach involving all key stakeholders, including an independent and rolling risk assessment and regular review of management practices. And the LSE concluded that did not exist in the UK. If it doesn't exist in the UK, that environment doesn't exist in India.
Well, you know, we are trying to make sure that all the checks balances are there. We'll have a very wide consultative process. We'll involve everybody. We'll make it public. You know, I think these are very legitimate concerns, and I think we have an obligation to meet these concerns.
All right, Nandan Nilekani, good luck, and I hope you succeed.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.